The latest crime stats have revealed that KwaZulu-Natal is the country's most deadly province. Two of the province's police stations recorded the highest number of murders between April and June this year. KwaZulu-Natal is followed by the Western Cape and Gauteng, releasing the Q1 crime stats for the 2022-2023 financial year on Friday. The Police Minister Bheki Cele said the number of murders in South Africa remains high and worrisome. Now, between April and June this year, 6,424 people were killed by other persons in South Africa, the stats reveal. Now, let's discuss this. We're now joined via Zoom by crime expert Tinyiko Ngoveni from the University of South Africa's Criminology and Security Science Department. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon, sir. Now, these numbers are staggering. Between April and June, this year, 6,424 people, and in Umlazi, 103 murders were reported, which is a 68% increase, compared to the same period last year. What should we make of this? And would you say we are getting a little handle on crime as South Africa?
Yeah, thank you, Linda Kushe, and good evening to your viewers out there. Let me say, this is a worrisome situation, and it needs an urgent attention, actually, a proactive one, because all of us, we can tell that at any time we might be the statistics at the upcoming financial report. But I think as a country, we're not doing enough in terms of fighting crime, because in most cases, we want to rely on police to police us and safeguard us. And when you check to the population itself in the country, you can tell that, look, we are nowhere to justify the performance of our police officers versus the number of population within the country. So I think we need to come into terms about this, to come with the actions, the measures to prevent this type of killings going further, instead of maybe blaming one another. We had one of a politician yesterday, the General Secretary of SABC, to say, let us come with measures to say, what can we do to prevent this crime? And I think we need to come with something. For example, the issue of community policing forum. We need to make sure that we prioritize community police forum. We make sure that it is effective, work hand in hand with the police and members of the community outside there in terms of dealing with their crime within their area of jurisdiction. Linda Kushe, thank you.
I must say that Linda Kushe is my producer. My name is Onati, but let's continue here with this next question. Now, I'm glad you mentioned Soli Mapaela's comments. Him saying, of course, that the problem is not necessarily, cannot be placed on one man, and that, of course, is the police minister, given several calls for him, to step down, seeing the crime statistics year in and year out, increasing. So you talk about this being a societal problem, of course, that needs some form of unified solution. Talk to us about some of those solutions, just from a civil, societal perspective, in terms of what are some of the key issues that are needed to be implemented as soon as possible before we see, third quarter or even fourth quarter results being, higher than what we are currently seeing now.
Yeah, you're quite right, Unati, and my apology for that. Let us agree, all of us, to say, look, crime affects us all. It affects the police, members of the community. It also affects even the criminals themselves, because they are scared even to die. But you can agree with me and the viewers out there to say crime happens within our area. And then some of us, we even know who are the so-called troublesome within our space. But you find that there is a gap between members of the community and the police itself. For example, let us say this one police station is policing 20 villages. You ask yourself, do we have community policing forum within those specific areas? Do we have the relationship between members of the police and the CPF? In most cases, you find that there is none. Even if when they see something or notice there any crime that is taking place within their area, most people, they don't even know how best to report this. Where is the police station? Some is it's in a distance where members, they have to travel and take a taxi to go to the police station. But if we have a community policing forum within our space, where we educate people the importance of community policing forum, why it is there, why it's so important to work hand in hand with the police in fighting crime, I think we can make a turn in terms of the effects of crime within our areas. Let us take example the issue of Alexander shooting, the latest one. the information that the people led police to arrest those criminals or the suspects is through the members of the community. They're the one who provided such information and led to the arrest. Same in our areas. They are the rural villages. People, they don't know exactly how to report this crime. When they see something happen, as long as it does not affect them directly, they keep mum. But if we have the effective policing forum within our areas, then we know very well where exactly to report such type of crime, and then even to make a follow-up, because those members of CPF, they are within their areas. I think it can help. We can start this project to find out if it cannot work effectively for us, or if it cannot reduce the crime that the country is experiencing. But I don't believe at this moment the country is utilizing the CPF effectively and usefully so. So that's what I can say for now in terms of CPF. And when you look to the issue of our national report by the National Police Commissioner, you don't even talk about the effects of CPF in crime prevention. That is something that is still missing. It means members of the community outside there, they will not be aware at this moment what is CPF, what is main purpose. Some they still see CPF as being aspired to the police, but if we report or involve CPF within our annual report to say what are the contributions they've made in terms of within their areas, we can make sure that this CPF, this relationship between police and members of community in fighting crime becomes something effective, and I think it can bear fruits if taken into consideration, and fully so.
Tinyiko, when you read reports from the World Population Review, which placed South Africa 9th when it comes to murder, 4th when it comes to rape, 9th when it comes to robbery, this is global statistics. I mean, that is an indictment on the country. But also, the questions that are raised then about the leadership should actually bear fruit here, because, I mean, we're talking about a leadership that should be instilling those and making sure that those CPFs in the various communities work, as you rightfully suggest. So surely, we need to also look at how our leadership in the police is structured, because these numbers are quite shocking. I would say embarrassing, but it's not, because we have people behind these stats that are actually being affected.
Yes, you are quite right, Onati, that we can pinpoint the leadership per se, but at the same time, we need to understand that, look, this leadership, they are human beings, just like you and I. Sometimes they do things right, sometimes they do things wrong. But I don't believe, maybe, for example, changing the minister will solve the problem, because we don't know who's coming after Minister Bheki Cele, and then there was someone before him. So what is critical, Nati, is to say, previously, the police were coming with this project of going back to basics. I think that is also critical. How do you used to deal with crime? We were having the issue of the organized units, the specialized units to deal with specific crimes that are affecting the country. So those are the things that we need to consider. Yes, we can pinpoint the minister, we can pinpoint the national commissioner, but I still believe and emphasize to say we need all to come on board, work hand in hand. When we pinpoint the minister to say, look, we have told you to do this and this and this. This CPF is not effective because they don't have resources. That CPF is effective. Why you don't do the same? The issue of cars, the issue of resources, we need to pinpoint or blame or question them. But at the same time, as members of the community, let us come on board. And I still emphasize on it to say, most of these criminals, they are known by the members of the community. And remember, criminals, when they commit crime, they don't go out and inform everyone. They blend in secretly, and then we see crime thereafter. But if we can have that platform to say, look, within our community, we have this CPF. Let us work hand in hand together with them, to work with the police in addressing the crime within our area. I think it can be a critical thing. But the issue of leadership per se, I don't want to comment much to say, if we take this one out, maybe things will be better. Possibly it will not, but let us come with the solutions. And I still repeat and emphasize within this platform to say, CPF can be a critical role to support the police in fighting crime within our area.
All right, Tinyiko, let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for coming on board. Tinyiko Ngoveni is from the University of South Africa's Criminology and Security Science Department.